Morning. Morning, Keith. Just morning, DCAT. Just getting set up here. And as we wait for folks to join us, I do have the risk disclosure up so you can review that. And we'll get started here shortly. Okay, so just going to kind of get started here, guys. We're already well into the 15 minutes here. So, 15 minutes from the bottom of the half hour. So I don't want to delay any further without compromising our ability to finish up the sessions before the open of the equities market. So I do have the risk disclosure up. Risk disclosure obviously outlines that I'm here purely as to provide general information about the market. Is not intended as investment advice. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk, and that we should only be using risk capital, right? Capital that we can otherwise afford to lose and not compromise our financial security. Okay. Again, not here to recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, instrument, or fund. And basically, past performance is not indicative of future success here. So with that said, let's go ahead and move into the first order of business here. And I believe we are entering in a fair, let's see, double check here. Go ahead and move into stop share. I'll go ahead and open up my news portal. Okay, there it is. And we're gonna begin by reviewing, what we have in the way of news events today. I think we do have a fair amount of news taking place as we speak, or has already been posted, that has had some effect on the Dow to the downside, but no effect to the other markets. Looks like just kind of my preliminary peek here. So we're going to go ahead and open up the 2 and the 3-star events here. I'm going to go ahead and apply that here. So, oops. Also want to just exclude it to US here. So we'll do that as well. Apply that. And then we'll go back to the top here and take a look. Well, like I said, we do have non-farm payroll. We have unemployment rates, being posted here. Non-farm payroll came in positive. Okay. Unemployment rate a tad higher in June. Okay. So what other news do we have in store? Well, we have a Fed monetary policy report coming out at 11 o'clock Eastern time. We always have the standard 10 a.m. Event that we are already well aware of. with respect to expiring options. Okay. So, and then we have a bunch of two-star events. So the bulk of the news has already been I guess posted and in the process of being I guess digested and reacted to. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the markets. Okay, so we're going to stop sharing here, and we're going to begin to share our charts. Okay, so here you have I have the looks like the ES chart on the left. We're going to go ahead and open this up here, and we are going to open up the gold market to start because the gold market has officially already opened. Okay, so it's important to get a feel for what's going on there. Let's see. Q 2024. All right. We as we do always. This kind of feels kind of a weird since given the holiday we've had yesterday. But nonetheless, there's a part of me that feels like we should be starting from scratch, but we are technically at the tail end of the week here. Looks like we are exceeding some levels here that we've identified prior, so which is quite bullish. Okay, so we're getting above some levels here to the long side. We do have these levels. We're going to go ahead and adjust here these here shortly. Okay. But what we are seeing is we're beginning to see that we are breaking some structure to the upside. Okay, we had kind of a double bottom here on the charts on the daily chart. Okay, we've exceeded I say we exceeded. We have yet to close, but we have exceeded some prior resistance. All right. And then we have very much, I would say that if we do manage to close on the daily above this, we have this 2400, 2395 level very much in our sights here. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the daily chart. So it looks like we kind of are moving. In an otherwise, I would say in an otherwise rangy market, we're starting to see some structure that would lead me to believe that we are headed higher. Okay. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, much of the same. Okay. We're starting to break some structure to the upside. We had this candle here that closed above these series of candles here to the left. Okay. So again, looks like we are making a bit of a push to the upside. We have, I think, probably this wick action that we're seeing on both ends on the sell side and the buy side. Probably an indication of some maybe news, a reaction to news. So, but what's interesting always to me is how price finds a level that we reverse from, and oftentimes it's one of the levels that we talk about in these sessions. Okay, so here we are. 4-hour is above. We're about an hour away from this candle closing. It will be interesting for me to see if this candle manages to close above this area, and if so, then this could lead to higher price action. Right? We're seeing this kind of rallying and basing and rallying here. Right? So very much market structure is indicating that price wants to head higher. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Here we are. I'm going to turn off ASR here for a second. Okay, and then I've already have already drawn in. I believe. Yes. So in this particular case, guys, given the holiday session that we had, I went ahead and did a volume profile that extended a couple of days here. Okay. So this is since we are Friday, I went ahead and made, a composite volume profile for both Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. Just so that we had a better view of the market. Okay. So we just included that over Wednesday was a shorter schedule. Okay. And then we had the Fourth of July holiday. So decided to kind of create my profile across those two days. All right. Let's see. So we have a volume profile. I'm going to go ahead and open up initial balance. Okay. So initial balance range is actually quite wide, right? Again, as a result of the news event that we had that created a relatively wide initial balance. And as a result, we may have some trouble, I would say, we may have some trouble getting any sort of initiative price action to extend beyond initial balance. Okay. Bonjour. Um, so we may have some difficulty extending. So initial balance high, initial balance low are probably going to carry a fair amount of importance today, just because we have such a wide initial balance range. If you look at some of the initial balance range, it may not be as clear here, but it's probably close to 3 times as wide as we normally get in gold here. All right, and because of the size of this initial balance range, our focus needs to be on the edges of these areas, because that's what the market is saying. If I'm up here, that we know that there are sellers up here. If we're down in this area here, 24 2356, we know that there are buyers. In this particular case, when we have holidays, I basically do a composite, okay, for extended. Okay, so but this is only because we had one of these abnormal days, right? We had a short Wednesday and no Friday trading. So again, in the interest of trying to capture exactly some of these levels, specifically on the volume side, I tend to do a composite. Okay, I generally keep it to regular trading hours at will. Okay, but because of the uniqueness of these past couple of days, I decided, and it's kind of in the middle of the week, so I decided to do a composite candle, which includes extended hours. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and capture some of these levels. I'm going to go ahead and open up ADR here. Looks like we've already exceeded ADR. Okay, to the upside. Right here, it's probably not as visible as it has been in the past. So let's see if we can do something to improve on that. Let's see if we can make this a little bit brighter. Actually, you know what? Let's improve this and improve on this. This. Actually, we probably want to change that to the reverse here. So we're going to keep this as red, but increase the opacity. And then the other one, we're going to just kind of adjusting here, guys, so it makes it a little bit visible for you guys. So let me go ahead and change this to this, and then I think that should take care of it. Okay. So here we are. We have reached the, I would say, the ADR high. Okay. Oftentimes, when we reach these levels early, within, like, say, the first hour of the session, um, that generally is an indication that we may be in a sustained move to the upside. Okay, when we break these levels. Now, in today's session, it's a bit news driven. I would say reaching this level is a little bit news driven. But nonetheless, the fact that we are able to reach this level right from not quite from where go, but within the first 30 or 30 to 60 minutes of the session, that's a very strong indication that we might be seeing some higher prices here in gold. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add my levels here. All right. I'm going to kind of take them off of the levels that I've identified already. So already in top step. So we're just going to go ahead and add them here. Okay. All right. So these are the levels that I'm tracking. Okay. So we have ADR high here. okay, that we're about to exceed. We have ASR high here. We're just below this level. And then we have some 4-hour supplies and demands that we're about to or have already exceeded to the upside. Okay. So these are the levels that I'm going to be tracking here in the gold market. As far as hypos go, well, obviously for now, I would say that we need to be looking for opportunities to participate in this market to the long side. Okay. I would say that certainly this area right around here, value area high. Okay, this area here would be an area of interest. Okay, to the long side, if price were to come back to this area, this would be an area where I would expect a little bit of a continuation move to the upside. Okay, that would be a logical place. It has already reacted off of settlement price. Okay, settlement price. It came down here, reacted away from it. Okay, so the next, so I'll be looking at this level. I'm going to go ahead and draw in a anchored VWAP off this pivot here. See this area right here. So similar to this settlement cost, I also see a level that has been created by anchor VWAP. So this area here is a target rich area for buyers for me. Okay. This we see evidence of buying. We see this particular candle extended this range. So my expectation is that if price were to come back down to this level, then that would be a logical area for us to participate to the long side. Okay. On the short side, well, we're at a level now. Okay. The question is, since we've broken this level so early, whether it's going to generate anything in the way of a reversal. Okay. So the next logical area for me is not so much this area, since it's already been broken. Okay. It's already been violated. Would be to look for something on the supply side. Okay. Going back to the daily. Okay. Going back to the daily and seeing if I see some level above me. Okay. Let me remove this here. This the one. Yes. So some level above me. Okay. That could create some resistance. Okay. Well, we already talked about this 2400 level, right? So we are entering into a daily supply area. Okay, so anywhere between where it is now up to the top, say 2406, could cause buyers to step in. So this supply zone could be a location where we could see some evidence of some sellers stepping in here. Okay. So I'm going to be kind of anxious to see how we react. My inkling, given the fact that we have such a wide initial balance, this area could provide some resistance. IB high. Okay. So for now, rather than really focus on sort of retail pricing here for long, I'm going to be looking for some sort of retracement back to some sort of level here. This level is also another level that I would call out here. What was prior resistance will become supportive. Okay, so this area right here, I'm going to kind of color that in as maybe a dashed line in green. Okay, this area right here would be an area, say 2476.4. Okay, would be an area that I would pay a fair amount of attention to. Seems to have lost my. I'll do this again here. Okay, so these are the levels that I'm looking at. Okay, for the gold market. All right, just going to take a peek here to see if there's any questions. If not, we're going to go ahead and move on to the correlated market. In this case, platinum. All right. So good morning, Himachali. So we're going to go ahead and look at platinum. I believe there were. Let's just do the continuous contrast, easier for me. Okay, so we're going to take a look quickly at the daily here. So daily is much like gold. It's breaking some new highs here. Okay, so we had a a push higher, a bit of retracement, and now we're challenging the highs here. Okay, we're starting to look to break some structure here to the upside. So I would say that the market in platinum is looking rather bullish. All right, for our chart. All right, for our chart. Let's see, this is from Monday as well. Okay, so let's turn this off. Where's my initial balance? Okay, let's turn this off and let's turn this off. Okay, and so similar to what we were saying on the daily chart, we have a candle that has broken some structure here to the left-hand side. Even this last bit of structure here is above, right? So if we do manage to close above it, again, it's indication that we could very well see higher prices in the gold. Okay, and then I'm kind of looking to the left and seeing, okay, well, where could this price go? Well, we could easily go based on this structure. We can easily go up to 1054, 1055.3. Okay. There's nothing that keeps, nothing in it from a market structure point of view. There is nothing market structure wise that can keep this price from assuming we break above. Okay. That's the important piece. Assuming we break and close above, then I don't see why there's any reason that we don't make our trek up to 1055.6. Okay. So for our chart, again, looking bullish. 30-minute chart is equally as bullish. We are above some levels here that we drew. This is value area high. We're above value area high. We opened technically inside. Okay. But immediately rallied to the outside. Okay, so indicating that we do have some bullish participants in the market here. All right, so let's go ahead now and open up initial balance. Okay, we have this initial balance range again, much like we saw in gold. We have a relatively wide and extended initial balance range here. Okay, you can see all the prior initial balance range are not even a third in this case, right? Not even the third the size of the current initial balance range. Okay, so that again is an indication that it may be difficult to see or witness these markets extend these ranges. Okay, beyond. Okay, because we already have a bit of an extended range to begin with. As a result of news that we had this morning. All right. So let's go ahead and start calling out our levels here. So we have ADR high, not ASR high, but ADR high. Here, we're going to go ahead and open up the ADR indicator here. And we have already exceeded it. Okay. So we have ADR high here at 1024.4, 1024.4. Okay. We have ADR low here at what is it? ADR low here at 999.1. Okay, 10. Okay, we have ASR high. Low volume today in pre-market. Okay. So we got ASR. Where's ASR here? Okay. All right. So we got 1042.4. ASR high, 1042.4. Okay, and we got ASR low here at 1025.8. 1025.8. All right. And then the last thing we want to capture here is settlement. Settlement is 1013. 1013. Oh no. Settlement is 1013.4. Okay, so these are our preliminary ranges. There's obviously 4-hour and 4-hour supply zones that we probably want to capture, as well as 4-hour demand zones. But we'll leave that to allow you some follow-up analysis that you can make here. Well, these are the levels that we're going to capture here for now. All right. So what to make of this market? Well, similar to the comments that we made here in gold, right? We need to see and locate opportunities that we could take this to the upside, right? So where's a logical area to take it to the upside? Well, this area right here, right around 1028, 1028.7. That's a logical area for me because that was not only a break of initial a break of prior structure, but it was also IB high from Wednesday. Okay, so this area right here would be a logical area to support a continuation move to the upside. Okay, and also an area. It's also slightly above um, ASR low, right? So if we're going to be that close, chances are it's going to come back down to this 1025.8 level and create a potential reversal. So that's this area right here is probably an area that I would be focusing on the long side. I have 1042.4 on the ASR high side that could offer me an opportunity for a short, but I have to kind of temper my expectations here on the short in platinum given the market structure to the upside. This could potentially, provide me maybe a trade back to VWAP, back to some other logical location, but I wouldn't necessarily be married to that short given the market structure that we're seeing to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in platinum. Did I thought I had captured those levels. Now I lost them. It's over here somewhere. Okay, there they are, right here. Okay, so these are the other levels I'll be looking at as well. I think expecting the market to head all the way down to settlement price and offer us at least may or may not happen today. Okay, but certainly the level that I mentioned here in the dashed line is I think a reasonable level for price to come back to, maybe back down to ASR low to provide us an opportunity for a longish trade. Okay. Again, double checking questions. I'm not seeing them, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. All right, crude oil market. All right, so let's go ahead and remove some of these drawings. Let's see. Did I draw this to Monday? Yeah, let's go ahead and remove some of these drawings here. Okay, let's close out some of these indicators. When the chart gets too busy, my mind gets equally as busy and cluttered and doesn't allow me to kind of objectively look at the market. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily. Okay, daily chart, kind of has the same kind of look and feel that we've been experiencing in the gold market as well. It looks like on the daily chart, we are making some new highs. We are breaking some structure to the upside. We are seeing some market structures that, rally, base, rally, base, rally. Okay. So we're starting to develop some structure here to the upside. So indicating that we are in a bullish move. Okay. For our chart, equally as bullish here. Okay. We continue to make higher highs and higher lows. We're about to, or we're right at the precipice of doing the same again here. Okay, we have a bit of an ascending wedge here. It's kind of what I'm seeing right now in this market. Okay, ascending wedge. Where is the sell zone for? We would have to look to see if there's anything in the to the left of the market. Okay, on the 4-hour, we're actually at an area where we could expect some selling. Okay, the next logical level would be around 85. Okay, 85 is the next logical area that I see for a potential area where we might see some sellers. This area right about here. Okay, this area right here. Okay, this is kind of the area that I would expect to see some selling. Again, looking to the left, and seeing, I mean, we're at a level now, another level now, but the price action so far has been quite bullish. So the next logical area that I see is around this 85 area, right? We're about a good 93 ticks away. Okay. So that's the next logical area that I see. All right. 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. Again, looking at this series of higher highs and higher lows. Again, indications of, further price action to the upside. We've had 1, 2. Now this is the third attempt at this level here at, I don't know, 84. Okay. 84-ish, right? Every attempt that we made to get above 84 has been met with selling. Okay. We got some sellers here. It came up again. It sold off again, but not to the same degree as we had before. So eventually it appears that this market is eventually going to break, and break right now, it appears is going to be to the upside. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up ADR here. So we have ADR zone. Alejandro, you were asking for another zone that maybe could potentially offer us an area to fade the market. Well, we have an area here at ADR high. Okay, so let's go ahead and start calling out some of these levels. We got ADR high here at 84.40. Okay, 84.40 could be an area that could be somewhat resistant. You got ADR low here. That's obviously going to be supportive here. That's the low here at 82.80. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to copy and paste the levels I've captured and at Top Step, so we're consistent. All right. You can find these levels at Top Step too. All right. So I'm just going to do this. All right. So here are the levels that I'm watching. All right, in crude oil. All right, the one thing that I'm going to do here is I am going to draw the initial balance, not initial balance range, but my volume profile range, and I'm going to locate the 6, yes, and then drag that all the way across through the 4th here from a day session perspective, New York session. Okay. So this area could offer us another logical area, value area high, could offer us another area for a possible, continuation long trade. Okay. All right. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at VWAP. VWAP is sloping up. So VWAP could offer us also another logical location to support this move higher. I'm going to do another anchored VWAP here down at this pivot level. And that's also another area. You see, every time prices come down to this anchored VWAP from this, based on this anchor as the anchor, we've seen some reversals away from it. Okay. What about the psychological? Well, Alejandro, 85 is psychological. 85 is one of those psychological levels. It's a kind of relatively whole number. So 85 again is one of these levels, right? We're at 84 now. Okay, we're at 84 now. But this particular candle on the 30-minute chart is really not showing any signs of weakness. Okay, so Alejandro, the next logical whole number is 85. Okay. All right. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be so keen, I guess. I know it's difficult to participate in a long trade at retail prices, but we have to respect market structure here, right? So I would, I understand the reasoning behind looking for an opportunity to sell because that allows us to manage our risk. But the market structure is indicating to the upside. So you're kind of working against the current here, right? So we would probably be better served in looking for opportunities. At least that's what market structure is telling us, to focus in on opportunities to the long side. Okay. All right. So that's, I think, pretty much what I wanted to say. I mean, we do have ADR here above us. We have other levels that I've captured here that are important. When I think of psychological levels, DX, I think of whole numbers. Okay. Could this be a psychological level since it's we've seen resistance in this past? Not the way I defined it. Okay. When I think of psychological levels, I think of psychological levels, whole numbers, 1,000, 100. Those are kind of psychological levels for me. Okay. So that's kind of the way that's the, now, if you want to, now this level has proven to be resistant in the past, no doubt. Okay. But 84.13 is not a level I would expect people to maybe necessarily, other than the fact that, maybe it was a recent high, recent high on Friday, or, something along those lines. Right. If that's what you mean. But for me, when I think of psychological, I think of maybe kind of 100 whole numbers. Okay, so 85 is probably the next whole number that I would see outside of 84 that we're currently in. Okay, as serving as some sort of psychological level for any potential reversal in price. Okay, all right. Good questions, guys. Keep them coming. We're gonna go ahead and move into RBOB. All right, quickly here. All right, I just kind of take a look at what RBOB is offering us here. Let's see how far back this went. This went back all the way down to Friday. Don't see. Let's start with a daily chart. Okay, daily chart. Just kind of getting a feel for, now we've identified this level above us here. Okay, on the daily, turn off ADR levels here. All right, so we've already identified a level here, right, as a potential area of resistance. Okay, right, this level at 259 or 260. All right, now we did get some rejection away from this area, right? But our structure continues to be to the upside. So we're looking at market structure that wants to take price higher. All right. We've come into an area where we could see some selling. And to be honest, the selling has been a bit meek. Okay. Have not been able to establish anything in the way of a bearish candle. So we have to go into the RBOB market thinking bullish. All right. So same is true here. Okay. We have a developing bullish candle that is destroying any of these sellers that maybe we're thinking that we could probably get priced down again. Okay. But we still have to make a newer high. Okay. We have a supply zone above us. Okay. That has so far been respective. Okay. But we haven't seen anything insignificant. We haven't seen any Bigfoot candles, candles that are generated by institutions, candles that have no wicks, that have large bodies. Okay. Those candles we have not witnessed any of those yet. Okay. And since we have not witnessed those, and we are actually even more developing candles to the long side, the structure, we have to think more to the long side. Okay. All right. So let's see, how far back was this created? This is Friday. Let's move this up. Let's move to the 30-minute chart, and then we'll adjust this accordingly. All right. So we're going to move this over to what day? We're going to move this over to Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday, start of session. Wednesday. Okay. Right about there. Okay. And we're going to bring this back. We're not going to extend this to the right. This looks like it's extending this to the right. Okay. We're going to adjust the end of this back to the close of the day session yesterday. Okay. Right around this level here. Okay. So this is kind of what we're looking at from a volume profile perspective. We do have a logical area here. Let's go ahead and draw that in as blue. It's an extension of value area high. Okay. Value area high level. So we have reached settlement. Okay. Settlement price, again, is one of these areas that could offer reversal in price. Okay. So this would be a logical area given the supply zone and settlement price, maybe to offer us maybe a scalp trade. Okay. Back down to 259.03, maybe back down to value area high. Okay. Looking at the initial balance. Okay, we're still very much developing that. So let's go ahead and call out our levels here. So let's go ahead and open up ADR here. Let's open up our text window and start calling out some levels. Okay, so we got ADR high here at let's call it 261.03, $2.61.03. Not 3 cents, 03. Okay. ADR low is let's call it 255.89, 2.5589. Settlement is 260, $2.60 team. All right. We're going to go ahead and turn off ADR and turn off ASR. Here we are. ASR is saying 262.04. 262.04. 262.04. ADR low, ASR low at 258.03. 258.03. Okay. So what are we seeing in RBOB? Well, RBOB a little bit different. I think we're starting to see some reaction away, and maybe crude oil is following suit. Okay. We're starting to see some reaction away from this supply area that we drew on the 4-hour. Also, we're seeing some reaction away from this ASR high. Okay. Now, we have to recognize that we are in market structure. Okay. To the upside. So we have to kind of mute our expectations on how far this move can go. Well, we have the ASR low here. This would be kind of a reasonable destination for a trade. Say we wanted to go bearish. Another intermediate location or target would be 258.8, this prior area of resistance becoming support. All right. So for me, again, this is a 30-minute chart, but I would like to see at least one candle to indicate to me that they want to take this lower before I kind of hop into the market. If it can't sustain for a minimum of 15 minutes to the direction of my trade, then I'm not interested in the trade. Okay. Because I understand in this particular case that I'm fighting against some structure to the upside. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for RBOB. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the equity markets, which are about to open here. Okay. So let's turn off some of these areas here, and let's open up the daily. Okay. So daily chart continues to chug along here, okay, to the upside. Nothing indicating to us that this market is going to stall anytime soon. All right, we have, I guess this is a result of rollover. We had some price come into this area, react away from it. So market structure indicates higher prices in the Nasdaq. For our chart, okay, telling us, I think, much of the same. We are hovering around settlement price here. Okay, we are seeing some indecision at these levels. Okay, this area could provide us a little bit of, make this shorter here, could provide get control of this drawing tool here. Okay. Yeah. So given this indecision, I mean, there's no reason to think that it can't, come back to, test the conviction of this. Okay. Well, so when I was telling you guys about Bigfoot, right, this is the candle that I'm looking for. Okay. These are the candles I'm looking for. Candles with large bodies and no wicks. Okay. Candles with large bodies and no wicks indicates conviction. Conviction, okay, it will support the direction of our trades, right? So if I do take a short here, my expectation is that it's not going to let price get too far into or below 2066.50 before we start to see some potential buyers stepping into this market. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. I'm going to go ahead and call out my levels. Okay, here. I've already captured them already. So in the interest of time here, we'll just go ahead and capture these levels. All right. So we're going to open up our window here, and we're going to paste that. Okay. So these are the levels that I'm looking at. Okay. For the NASDAQ market, initial balance is technically not open yet. Value is, this is Tuesday. I'm going to shift this over a bit. Okay. Through Wednesday, through Thursday, through the regular trading hour session. Okay, right about there. And then I'm going to pull this over to Wednesday as my start date, as my starting time. Okay, there it is. Okay, so right now, price is hovering above value. Okay, when we had, now this over here was created as a result of this of the payroll jobless claims news event that we had earlier. Okay, so right now we have price hovering above value, indicating that we have bullish price action. Okay, that we have a number of buyers in this market. Okay, should we get price to close back inside value, then we could experience maybe a potential value area acceptance, right, all the way through value. Okay, so that's a possibility there. All right, so I've captured some levels. I'm a little hesitant to give too many hypos here without initial balance. Initial balance is just starting. Okay, just market just opened here. Okay, so we have, we'll have to wait and see what the initial balance range provides us. Okay, but right now, it seems to me, given the fact that we've opened above, okay, we are kind of in this kind of tight range. We are seeing some rejection of higher prices. Okay, if we do manage to close above initial balance to the upside, then you know we'll continue to see higher pricing. Okay. Now the question that's probably in everybody's mind is, when is this market going to stop? Right? When is this market going to fade? Well, there's nothing from a structure perspective on the left-hand side that's going to offer that for us. So we're going to have to rely on things like ADR. Okay. Right? We have ADR above us. We have ASR. Okay. These are the levels that we could provide us some areas, statistical levels that could provide us some areas for price to reverse. Okay, because we don't have any structure to the left side, right? All the structure to the left side has been broken. Okay, so we have to use statistics in some cases in our favor for areas for to reverse in price. But honestly, right now we should continue with what the market structure is telling us, and the market structure is telling us that we should be looking for opportunities to the long side in the Nasdaq. Okay. So yeah, so I'll be waiting to see what initial balance range provides me first hour of trade, and then from there I'll react to it. But right now it appears that price wants to head higher. Okay, in the Nasdaq. All right. Last market we're going to take a look at here is ES. We're going to start with a daily. Okay, we have the initial balance range, which I'm going to turn off here for a second. I'm going to turn off ADR levels as well and ASR levels. Okay, so what is the market trying to do? Well, the same thing that the market is doing on the Nasdaq. It's trying to go higher. Okay, nothing here indicates that we've gotten a break of we've made new highs. Okay, and we opened on a new high. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut and paste our levels here. These are old levels. I'm going to cut and paste what I have as far as our new levels. Okay, I'm going to cut that into this. All right. Okay, so daily bullish 4-hour. Okay, looking at the 4-hour. It's probably been ranging of late, but still in a very bullish view, right? Right. We have a little bit of ranging action. Okay, we did manage to make some new highs, but it's been received with some selling. Some of this may be news driven, right? It went up to these highs, failed. Okay, It'll be curious for me in the next 30 minutes whether this candle right here that is currently developed is going to develop as bearish. If I'm going to embrace the sellers, I need to get below 50 55.85, okay? And with some momentum, okay? In order to embrace the sellers, all right? If I'm going to embrace the buyers, well, need to get above these new highs. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in initial balance. I don't know why it's coming in this way. Uh, let's see. We can adjust that. An hour. This. Let's see. Turn this off here a sec. Turn this other one on. Okay, well, this initial balance doesn't seem right to me. So we'll do this old school. Okay. So right now, the initial balance range for this market, well, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. That's probably part of the reason. Okay. So let's do this again. Okay. Now this looks a bit better. Okay. So this is our initial balance range. Okay. Thankfully, the news told us where our sellers are. Our sellers are up at this 5605 level. Okay. Where are our buyers? Well, down at this 5584 level. Okay. Now, we often say that we want to avoid the news, but one thing that the news tells us is where our market participants are. Okay. So down at this 55.85 level, we have buyers. Up at this 56.06 or 56.05 level, we have sellers. Okay. That's very important information to have because it tells us to the extent where we could expect if we are going to continue higher, how far we could expect this move to take before we start to see some sellers, especially in this market when we're making new highs and not making any we don't have any structure to the upside to provide us, some indication where price could stall, right? This right here, this news event gave us a clue as to where price can stall around 5605. Okay. All right. Let's make sure that we capture our levels here. So I'm going to do this again. So here are the levels that we're looking at. Again, I would say that our focus should continue to be made. Yes, 5600 is a psychological whole number price. Correct. 5600 is a psychological whole number price. Correct. Okay. Right? Not 5619, not 5613. Those are not whole number. They're whole numbers, but not the whole numbers that I'm looking at. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, let's before we close out the day, we'll call out what a fixed range volume profile is. We're going to go back to Wednesday. Okay, drag that all the way through yesterday, right about there. Okay, so there we have our value. Right now, price is open inside of value. All right. So inside of value indicates that we could potentially see price action that is a bit more rangy than most days. Okay. So until we break above, or assuming that we do break above, then that will probably change my tint to bulls becoming in control of this market and looking to head higher. All right. But until then, if we start to see some candles that reverse, back to the downside, we could be in this kind of tight range that we have developing here between 55.86 and maybe let's just say value area high, or in this case, the high of the day here at 5600 as our range here. Okay. So again, I'm always looking for closes above these areas. Wicks cannot be trusted, as you can see here. Okay. All right. Trying to see if there's anything else I should be calling out in this market. It's similar to the ES. We should be looking for some opportunities that we can participate potentially to the long side. I would say in the case of the ES, I would probably wait for a momentum move outside of value. Okay. And then look at and look at 55.95 or 5600 as an opportunity for me for a continuation trade. Now, the fact that we are around this 5600 level is a psychological level that could provide some additional resistance. This area has already proven to be resistant. Okay, once. The question is, will it continue to be? All right. Okay. I think that is all I want to share with respect to the markets, guys. I'm going to look to see if there's any last minute questions. I don't see them. I think I've confirmed Alejandro's question about 5600 as serving as a psychological level. Indeed, it is. Okay. So with that, I'll wish you guys, encourage you guys to trade safely, to trade well, to trade like a pro, and to be a market trader, guys. So have a great session. A reminder, there will not be group coaching today, Fridays. Kind of, I guess you can think of it as kind of a extended extended holiday here for group coaching. We'll pick up group coaching on Monday. I will be available throughout the session today in the normal location at the on Coach's Race channel. But other than that, if we don't interact before that, then I want to wish you guys a festive and safe weekend, and we'll catch up again on Monday. All right. So trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Bye for now.